Cool.
We're live, boys. Let's go.
Good.
Woo.
I couldn't take another second, not a second more of the Ted Lasso conversation that was going on prior to the show being on the air. So thank God I couldn't get it out of my head here. The Ted Lasso and the finale, and Mike has 10 minutes left of the show, and
I still have 10. I was ready to hold off the show for 10 minutes to finish watching it.
I'll break it for you here. He dies, so there you go. He's dead. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers, everybody.
I'm watching them talk right now.
Episode 322. 322 is going on, guys.
It's going great. Like I said, 10 minutes left of Ted Lasso. Right. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Never heard of her, man. It sounds wonderful.
You know what? That's a you problem, not a me problem.
I don't see any problems here. Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Derby?
Great.
Were you watching Ted Lasso too?
Never watched it.
No.
You guys suck. You guys suck.
What is it? It's just one of these shows that you have to like binge watch and catch up on, and
no, it's about a soccer team in Europe who the owner hires a former Division II football coach to be their head coach because she wants the team to fail because it's her ex-husband's team, and they turn around and everyone loves Ted Lasso.
Oh, that's boring.
It's a great show.
That's boring me already. I can't even imagine.
Oh, you sit down and you watch like the first episode. It's great comedy. It's great comedy. It's funny.
It's comedy.
It's comedy.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. Ted Lasso is dead.
Hey, all I gotta say, it's Apple TV. Friday Night Lights walks so Ted Lasso can run. They hook you in thinking it's going to be sports, and then it's actual good comedy, good drama. It's just great characters, great writing. And then everyone's going to forget about it in 6 months because that's how we are with TV shows anymore. And great art. We move on. Where's the next piece of art coming from?
I was watching this thing last night after the Pirate game, guys. And it was called the 10 Best Blow-Ups by Pittsburgh Pirates. And it was, basically Lloyd McClendon.
I was going to say, is it Lloyd McClendon's greatest hits?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, there's a lot of good moments because Pittsburgh has always been, through the past 30 years, since they haven't been really good at baseball, they've been a pretty scrappy team. Mm-hmm. And you catch a lot of games where the Pirates are getting in brawls and this and that. One guy who didn't mess around, and I knew this, but now that, I get to watch it back over again, Jason Kendall was a no mess around kind of guy.
No, he was not. He didn't take
shit from anybody.
There you go.
And there was one specific clip that I remember where the guy hit him and Jason was eyeballing him, walking down to first base, and he just ran out and chucked his helmet at the guy and jumped on him and started punching him. That Jason Kendall, man, he was I'm glad that he was a Pirate.
Me too.
He could have played hockey.
He could have played hockey. He could have played anything he wanted, I bet.
He was like in that era, he was my favorite Pirate.
He was the only Pirate. Him and Brian Giles. Remember Brian Giles?
Brian Giles was good. Jason Bay before we let him go.
Yeah.
We traded him. But no, it's all I
remember Freddie Sanchez, 04 National League batting title.
Yes. Oh my God.
Forgets about Freddie.
Freddie Sanchez. Who's the little shortstop?
Dirty.
Who's the little shortstop?
J Bell.
Scrappy white. No, J Bell was before that time. Jack Wilson.
Jack Wilson. Yeah, he looked like Steve-O from Jackass.
Yeah, he did
the exact
actually.
Face. I got something for you before we start talking about Pirates baseball. Get this.
God. Do we have to talk about Pirates baseball?
Yeah, we do, because it's something amazing happened.
That's
true. The Oakland A's now, how they're terrible. I don't even know if they're out a single digit yet.
I saw that. I know what you're about to. I think
they beat the Braves in a series.
No way.
The Braves. I mean, they're literally probably the best team in the National League. And this lowly Oakland A's team, like I said, who literally has, I think, single-digit wins still.
Yeah.
Just won the series against the Braves.
Hey,
so
blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Yeah.
Baseball's like that.
They signed Lusteroid Daddy Hack the Fourth. He's gonna for $1 billion. Or if anyone follows that on TikTok or YouTube, Lusteroid Daddy Hack.
No, that's just Aaron Judge in general.
Yeah, but no, that's wild. The A's. The A's. Who would have thought?
And here's something even more interesting about the A's. Franchise. You thought that was interesting. Listen to this. The Portland Pickles. The Portland Pickles just surpassed the A's in attendance. The Portland Pickles. I don't even know what they are.
A minor league team?
They could be a little league team for all I know. But I just read that the Portland Pickles surpassed the Oakland A's in attendance this year.
Portland Pickles. Let's see. They play in the South Division of the West Coast League, a premier collegiate summer baseball league.
What?
Yeah, they have a better attendance than the A's.
I
Better
love it.
Major League Baseball team.
A once proud organization with the
Yes.
Bash brothers and Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Dave Stewart. I mean, this team was the team to beat back in the day.
In the the Moneyball era team, they had some good runs there.
Heck,
But,
they were
oh
one of the
my
original
Lord.
teams in Major League Baseball.
The big one that everyone remembers, that's certainly in my age group, is the San Francisco Giants Oakland A's World Series back in '88, I believe, where they had the big
Oh, wow.
8.2 earthquake. And
Yes,
I mean, the A's were the team back when I was growing up.
they were. Ricky Henderson,
David Eckersley. The list goes on with these guys.
look how far they've fallen.
It's like the Pirates.
It is. But you know what? We have them beating attendance, baby. We got that going for us, which
That's
is nice.
right.
Woo!
We have the Pickles beat too.
Portland Pickles. You know what? I kind of want to become a Portland Pickle fan.
If anybody was a Portland Pickle fan, Mike, it would be you.
And I hate pickles.
And you hate pickles. So let me break it down, guys. Goes like this.
DX.
The Pirates come into May in first place, having the best record in the National League. On May 30th, they fall below, May 29th, May 30th, they fall below 500. May 31st, they have an opportunity to finish May in first place. If, in fact, Mitch Keller and company beats the San Francisco team that we beat yesterday, and the Brewers lose to the Blue Jays again, which is kind of likely.
Yes.
The Pittsburgh Pirates will be in first place to finish up May. There it is.
That's why baseball is the best sport.
No, it's not.
There it is, people.
The same thing can happen in hockey, Derpy. Same thing can happen. That's just Pittsburgh Pirates in a nutshell, man. If they can do something stupid, they'll do something stupid like this.
The rubber match today at 3:45, early game.
Yes, but like Derpy says, I don't mean to cut him off, but 162, baby, 162.
We're 27 and 27, which means we're 54 of the 162 in. We could be in first place by the end of this day. It breaks down like this. The Brewers are in first place. The only team that took a loss yesterday in the division was the Milwaukee Brewers. The Pirates are in second place, 1 game out. The Reds 3 games out. The Cubs 4 games out, and the Cardinals 4.5. Everybody besides the Brewers in the division win yesterday, and everybody gains ground. Now this division is starting to get tight. Look at this.
Yeah,
your last place team is only 4.5 games out, and that's the Cardinals.
And the Reds are on a 4-game win streak.
The Reds are on a tear. They're only 3 games back.
Stand. Wow.
So you got to, it's kind of a crazy thing.
It's the AL Central, the NL Central, man. It's the weirdest division in all of baseball.
The Cubs beat Tampa Bay yesterday 2-1.
Who would have thought? Who
couldn't
saw
even
that?
stand on the same field as Tampa Bay.
It's just baseball.
We couldn't even stand on the same field as Tampa Bay.
And here go the Cubbies, man, showing it how it's done.
So the count on yesterday's game was 2-1. I got a few comments to make about this. For one, the Giants uniforms were hideous. They went with some kind of weird alternative orange helmet, orange numbers, orange, very orange. It was very Syracuse.
Very orange. Oh, they were channeling their inner Jim Boeheim.
I can't wait till they're done. I sure hope they don't do that again today.
I hope they do, just to annoy you.
2. I thought early on Johan Oviedo was going to be a big disaster. I think he gave up about a total of 5 walks altogether. And they were all early. He was letting guys on base, and it was scary. And I thought, there's no way we're going to win this game. I mean, it's this early and he's this bad. But they hang on. They bring in about 4 or 5 other pitchers throughout the course of the game who let up no runs. Bednar comes in, gets the save. Big Stacks, a no-show.
Yeah, he didn't.
I guess
play.
The big game against the San Francisco Giants.
Who's put him on the bench?
Let's put him on the bench. Hey, why not? He's making $100 million.
He doesn't need to play every day. Yeah, he doesn't need to play every day.
He doesn't need to play 2 hours a day.
No. We did not need him.
Connor Joe, first at bat in first inning, takes one deep. Pirates take a 1-0 lead. San Francisco gets up again. Oviedo walks a few guys. They move around. Guy runs, scores eventually. It's 1-1. And then later on, this play that Rodolfo Castro scored on was actually really nice. It was a perfect red timed out wild pitch, and he scored from third base. It was a really nice play. It really was. And that was ultimately the winning run. 2-1 was the final count.
Yeah, like you said, to go back to starting pitching, he started off rough, but he ended up with 5 strikeouts after that. He settled down.
And my thing was this
run in the bullpen, man. The bullpen pitched great down the stretch.
Oh, the bullpen was amazing. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the thing, Mike. Jack Sawinski started, who got a base hit off of a lefty, which was pretty much a miracle when it happened. I thought, wow, this is crazy. So let's play Jack Sawinski against the lefty, and let's sit Brian Big Stacks Reynolds, who are paying mad money to make this baseball team good.
Yeah,
that I couldn't understand, but you know what? Those are the kind of things that work for the Pirates.
It makes no sense. Like when you do something like by the book, like by the traditional book or by the new age analytics, it never seems to work well for the Pirates. So just throw all that shit out the window and just throw it against the wall and see what sticks and what works for the Pirates.
What makes the Pirates good.
Because this whole season for the Pirates has been, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, they had like the whole new pitch clock thing worked out. They were, stealing, going crazy and stolen bases, getting really good at bats, and all of a sudden they forgot how to play.
Like, so
you think you have them figured out. You think they have like the league figured out the way the new game's going to be played, and then they collapse. But then you just throw everything out the book and put Jack Sawinski against the lefty who can't hit him. He's like Pedro Serrano, can't hit a flipping curveball to save his life. This guy can't hit a ball from a left-handed pitcher. Derby, what the heck is going on in your background, man?
And please tell me what's going on. Please.
You got the most
sensitive.
You got the most sensitive microphone in the world, bro.
I hear shit going on down the street.
It's like I'm back in a Call of Duty. It's like I'm in a Call of Duty lobby right now.
Yeah, right. Moretta, a relief pitcher from the Pirates. And get this guy's numbers, Mike. Moretta, in those last 12 games, he's pitched 15.2 innings. He's let up 0 earned runs, had 21 Ks, 4 walks, and only is giving up a 0.085 batting average against.
Yeah, he is what I'm looking at now, 1.82 ERA, 36 Ks already this year. Only his second full season in the bigs.
Yeah, this kid's tough.
Oh God. 27 for a kid, but yeah, for us, that's still only his 3rd year in the league.
They're all kids to me now.
They're all kids to me. Yeah, like last year for the Reds, he had 23 earned runs in 35 games played. He has 5 earned runs in 22 games played for the Buccos.
He's unbelievable right now, man.
That is quite a turnaround. If he can keep pitching this way, that's a nice reliever to have.
Besides, in the bullpen, you have him. You also have Holderman, who comes in and does a great job. The bullpen is really close to being something that, that could be a strong part of this Pittsburgh Pirates
into
team.
A strength. Yeah,
it really is.
I still wanted them to get more starting pitching and like just another reliever too. Would you can always have more. Look at
it this way, guys.
No team's set, but
a month from now it's going to be the All-Star break. We're going to be able to start talking those kind of things. We're going to be able to start talking if we're going to be buyers, sellers, and what? If we're sitting right out first place, we better be buying.
They better be buying because this team's shown they can play.
Yeah. Mike, if you want to go ahead and handle the board, I'm going to continue forward. Derpy, also, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they go, today is the rubber mats. They're going to try to win this series to finish out the month of May. I don't even know if they won any series in the month of May. It sure doesn't seem like it, even if they did. I don't think that they did. But today, the starters are going to be Mitch Keller for the Pirates. He's 6-1, who's well on his way to a Cy Young kind of season, guys. He's 6-1. He's got a 3.01 ERA and 85 strikeouts. He's only third or fourth in the league in strikeouts. He'll be hitting the 100 mark pretty soon, hopefully in the next couple games.
Let's see if I can try and answer this one real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Real quick, because it's been a long time since I've actually focused on soccer. But top 9 in the league, in top 9 league in the world. I don't know. You have the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga for Spain, Serie A in Italy. Oh God, I would put the Mexican League maybe above it. See, Germany, England, France, Spain. Obviously, right there. I think Mexico might be above it as well. It might slide in maybe seven, maybe ninth, down the ninth league in the world. I just thought in tune with soccer the way I used to be to figure out where the ranks of the league are. But it's coming along, but it's still not all the way up there. But I don't know. It's the soccer's getting better in the MLS, but there's still a lot of. I think there's still a lot of dominant leagues. I would maybe even put like the English Champion League, that their second division is probably better than the MLS, just because the amount of Premier League teams that get bumped down year after year. That's the extent of my soccer anymore.
I hope that helps you out.
I need to start watching more of it. I used to be a real big into it.
But if you're a Giants fan today, the starting pitcher for the San Francisco Giants is Alex Wood. Alex Wood comes in with a 1-0 record, 3.51 ERA, and 26 strikeouts. I like the Pirates in this game. We just have to figure out ways to score. If we can figure out ways to score, I think we're going to be okay. Check this out, Derpy. I did mention this, Mike, yesterday. The Pirates, they start a series against the St. Louis Cardinals this weekend.
Yeah. 9-game homes.
Check this out, though, Derpy. Did you see the schedule on Sunday's game this week against the Cardinals? The Sunday's game is a morning game. It's a morning game. It's
really?
Yes. It starts in the 11 o'clock hour. I don't know why. I don't know what that's all about.
Why 11:35?
I don't know. I was watching the game last night, and the announcer was talking about the road coming up, and he had said, and of course, Sunday is the morning game. So I don't know. Maybe something is going on in Pittsburgh. I would like to have the original schedule, though, to know if this was something that was originally scheduled this way, or this was something that was flexed, for the lack of a better word. I don't know. It was just interesting. I've never in my life, never seen a baseball game start in the morning, Eastern time.
Me either. It's weird. It is very, very weird. Who knows what's going on there? Oh, did we lose Derpy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I lost connection there.
You ran. I thought you ran away. I'm like,
I was checking the schedule because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, check that out,
Okay.
Derpy. You look into that. Game 3.
That is weird. I just saw it. That's weird.
Game 3 of this series today. The rubber match is at 3:45, guys. So here in a couple hours, the Pirates do take on the San Francisco Giants for Game 3.
They gotta win this. They gotta.
Yeah,
because of motivation going into that 9-game homestand.
They have no motivation. That's the thing. They don't get motivated. Nothing motivates these guys. It's like that meme where that guy's pushing the stick. He's pushing the rock, telling it to do something. You know the meme.
Come on, do something.
Yeah, that's the
Do
Pittsburgh.
something.
Yes.
That is the Pittsburgh Pirates in a nutshell.
The umpires, they're especially bad this year. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're making way for the technology era to come in. But one thing that I've certainly noticed this season more than any time in my life is the umpiring is really bad. Really bad in the sense that.
You want to know why?
Why is that? Please tell me, Derby, please.
Betting.
Yeah, you know what? If that's true, and it probably is, I hate that.
In all sports in general.
Don't tell me that. I just want to not know.
Take the tinfoil hat off. They just suck.
Be, when there's money involved, who knows? But
they just suck.
But they are bad. I've noticed that they've been really bad, and it's annoying. Because if the guy pitches and it's a foot up out of the zone and they call it a strike, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't argue with them. He's going to call it a strike, and it's going to be a strike, and it's going to be what it is.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating because sometimes that's your team. Sometimes it comes down to your guy needing that pitch, and they throw it away, and your guy is behind the 8 ball, starting off the at bat because of a bad call, right off the top. I hate it. I am all about the technology.
I can't wait, especially like oh my god, the game that was the first game of this series we lost. The last strikeout of the game was outside the zone. They called it a strikeout. It's like, come on, dude, you can see it clearly.
Yeah,
everyone sees it, but these umpires, they're the worst.
I have a question here.
Please, yes, Derpy.
So, what happens if the computer cannot compute a pickle?
A pickle?
Yeah.
Well, you still have live umpires out on the field when they're, for the running the bases, and you still have the entire crew there. It's just balls and strikes will be called by the
AI is okay.
by the AI, and they'll be buzzed in like probably like a left side, right side, one side strike, one side
And a
ball,
camera
just has to
with
do what they have to do.
technology where the guy's foot steps on first base and the glove catches, and it just down to the millisecond on which one touches first. We need this technology. The thing is, it's available. This is the life we live, and we're going into the technology age. If we keep playing sports like dinosaurs, this is the result you're going to get. I think it's sooner to better for technology in sports.
Yeah, because like my God, they have it in soccer over in Europe where there's a chip in the ball, and it can tell you exactly where on the pitch it is and when it crosses the goal line.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm saying. It needs
we need something for baseball, especially for those.
It's the times.
First,
it's not even
embrace technology.
Real quick, I want to tell you this, guys. I told Mike earlier. I find it mildly amusing. Get this, Derpy. You may or may not have heard this. The Boston became the first series to lose a home game 7 to an 8 seed in both hockey and basketball in the same season. Let me say that again. Boston has become the first city to lose a home game 7 to an 8 seed in both hockey and basketball in the same season. Now, with that being said, let me ask you guys, I was looking at something. Now, if you look back over the past 10 years, there's a shitload of Boston teams that gets to the finals in their respective sport. They get to the conference championship, and the whole way down the 10 years, there's Boston teams in every year, just broken down between their 4 sports. Would you rather those be your teams and constantly lose getting that close, or would you like to get in those situations fewer and far between, but be mildly successful in those situations, opposed to like I said, if you go down the last 10 years, it's one after another. Celtics get knocked out of the conference round. Boston gets knocked out of this round, and all the way down. It's almost like, you'd like to get there all the time, but if you're going to lose, there's almost an embarrassment to it.
I'd rather get there. I would rather get there. Yeah, we get there when we lose, but at least you're getting there, as opposed to a team who never gets there.
Right.
At least when you're getting there, okay, you have hope. You can talk yourself into, okay, this is our time. This is our time. But if you never make it, you're gonna go, what? I would rather make it. Just make it. If I lose, I lose. But my team's made it there. I'm into this end of the year.
Like a LeBron James, let's say he's been to the finals 10 times. He's won 4. Would you rather go way more times and lose a bunch?
I'd take
go
4
fewer
rings
and far between and have a higher percentage of the wins in the big game situations.
I'd rather win. I'd take 10 out of 4 out of 10.
Because the Steelers, let me put it this way: the Steelers had won 4 Super Bowls, they lost 1, and they won 2 more and lost another 1. Now, if they went to 5 straight Super Bowls, not in a row, but 5 more Super Bowls and lost all them, that's 5 Super Bowls they were in. But now it's starting to look kind of like okay, that's
but you made it there. You made it there. That you put yourself in a position to win a championship. I'd rather be in a position to win a championship than not be in the position to win a championship.
Yeah.
Can I say this about Boston?
Yeah.
Their sports teams suck now, and Princess Brady can't save them.
Boston sports fans, my God, they act like it's so hard to be a Boston sports fan. You had like that year where like every team in each league's winner was from Boston.
My car every week. I get my car. Come down here.
I hate Boston. I hate Boston fans. They're the worst. They make Pittsburgh fans seem rational.
Another thing that doesn't make much sense to me, guys. Let's sneak into football here. Why is it that a quarterback could throw a ball 30 yards down the field between 2 defenders in a perfect position to the guy where the guy only could catch it, but then the very next play he goes to throw it out in a flat and it goes 30 feet over the receiver's head? Why is that play so difficult? Why does that play usually bounce in front of a receiver or go behind a receiver or go over a receiver when these quarterbacks, like I said, they could hit a dime 30 yards down the field with people chasing them,
It's like every quarterback has the yips on that flat pass. I swear it works 30% of the time. Like 30% of the time it works. I don't know. You can be Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, all the way down to like Duck Hodges, they all miss it. You can be the best quarterback or the worst quarterback, you all miss it, and I don't understand it. It has to be like they turn like physics is involved, and my God, I'm not trying to, I don't know how I'm gonna say this, but yeah, it has to be like the physics of like their whole body mechanics, the way they turn to throw it, and they're off just that little bit, and it messes it up that much.
Yeah.
It's wild. But I now that you say that, I think that every time I see one of those passes miss, like, how do you miss that?
Yeah.
How? You have to think that has to be the easiest pass in all of football. You're literally taking a step back, turning, and throwing this way.
And as I said,
You're
on average, you step, you drop back. You got guys collapsing on both sides of you. You throw the ball 30 yards downfield. It goes between two guys, lands just where you can catch it, just underneath where the safety's going to knock your head off and make the most perfect pass. But this play where it's quick, there's nobody really getting you. It's not like it's a it always blows my mind. It always blows my mind. If there ever comes along a quarterback that can consistently make that play happen, I'll be so surprised. Patrick Mahomes don't make that happen. Tom Brady didn't make that happen consistently. I just don't know what that is. There's got to be something.
It's like the receiver that makes the impossible catch.
Yeah.
Then they're wide open, no one around with 50 yards, and you hit them right in the hands and they drop it. It's the same phenomenon. It makes no sense. Maybe it's one of those things like you're just so good, you just shut your brain off.
Yeah, a lot
like,
of times
I don't have to think about it. I can just react and do it, and you just.
A lot of times you don't want your pros. You don't want your pros thinking.
You don't think, but sometimes maybe on those passes and those swing passes for quarterbacks, think it through, and receivers when you're wide open, think it through. Watch it come all the way in.
Marcus Golden, our new outside linebacker, backing up TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, is going to wear number 54. So there you go, number 54. My favorite 54 up until this moment was Hardy Nickerson. I don't know if you guys remember Hardy Nickerson. He was a linebacker back when you and I were kids, Mike.
Yes.
But now there you have it. We have a 54 on this squad. It's going to take a while to learn all these guys, man.
It is too. I mean, I need a program. I need a old school program to get all the numbers down. But who else?
I need a pen and a pad.
Yeah, the last 54 I remember, my God, was one of the linemen from years ago that we drafted out of Purdue. He was a center. I can't remember his name. I think he wore 54. Yeah.
Speaking of linebackers, a lot of talk I'm seeing online. We were waiting out the Quan Alexander. I think we need to fill this spot desperately, because if either who are looking really great, Landon Roberts or Cole Holcomb, go down, I think we're going to find ourselves in a bit of trouble, which is crazy because we're really close to being a really good defense. If you fill this one spot, you bring a Quan Alexander, Vinoy, Isaiah Simmons, any of these guys to fill that spot, I think our defense is going to be as good as it could be. I mean, there's not much, with what we have and what we're going to be able to do. This is going to be a really dominant defense.
I think so. Like I said, he's like the missing, not like, the missing piece. We get him, we're going to be great. No, he's like, it's going to be nice to have a backup inside linebacker that's not going to have a huge drop off between Holcomb and Landon Robinson down to Mark Robinson. I get someone like Quan Alexander or Kyle Vanoy, someone in there to where one of these two go down. We have a nice backup in place because we have depth throughout the lineup up and down to where the starter goes down, we're good to go, except at that position right there. And I think you're exactly right.
And as you said,
they're like that missing piece, but not like the missing piece.
I think you hit it on the head when you said the drop down between 1 and 2, and then down to Mark Robinson. I think Mark Robinson's going to be an exceptional linebacker one day. I just don't know if it's that. We're at that point yet. I do. You get that bridge player to put in that spot right there, just in case one of them two guys get down, and he's potentially a starter. I shudder to even think what the situation will be if he does come, and maybe he wins one of those. But you don't know. But I do think that this is something we have to stay on. We got to stay on this inside linebacker thing. And besides for that, you have a couple things here and there, but they're not really even a serious one issue or need. But like I said, we locked this linebacker position up, guys. I think we're ready to go.
I think so too. This defense, they're gonna have to carry the load for this team. My God, all that money that we spend on that defense. We have the highest paid edge rusher. We have the highest paid safety. We have We spend a lot of money in free agency. They have to be a top 5 defense this year. And
Absolutely.
I don't think that's, like we talked about being paid in expectations. All that money is going to that defense. The expectations should be high, and they're going to be, examined under a microscope as they should. And it should be a top 5 defense in the NFL. If not, there's something wrong.
One other thing yesterday we talked, Mike, briefly, and I didn't even make a point to find this. I kind of accidentally came across it, and I thought I'm going to just say this because I found it. Remember how yesterday I made the statement that this is basically the Steelers division? Listen to the NFC East, just to kind of it's kind of entertained me when I seen it. In the NFC East, there hasn't been a repeat champion since 2004. 20 years now, there hasn't been a team that's won that division 2 years in a row.
That's insane. That's a lot of parity. There's parity in that division. Because, Pittsburgh, we won so many, and then Baltimore had a nice little run. Now, Cincy's have a little run, but like you said, the AFC North, man, it's always It's Pittsburgh.
Everybody knows this. You know what I mean?
It's like the AFC East was always New England.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the West is always Kansas City.
And the West kind of does a little lazy Susan because they, sometimes Denver. Remember when Denver was the dominant team?
Yeah, they seem to rotate, but not like the. Not like the NFC East, where
that is crazy. 20 years. It'll be 20 years. But no team has won 2 years in a row won that title.
That's insane. Because they're it's not like they're bad teams out there.
No, they're
but it's not like it's. I don't know. You always tend to have two that are okay at the same time, not one that's dominant or two that are dominant. They just okay teams and they cancel each other out.
Do you want to hear one more interesting thing before we start to wrap it up, guys?
Oh, I'm all about interesting.
3 active quarterbacks who never threw a pick six with minimum 20 starts. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
3 active quarterbacks who never threw a pick six with a minimum 20 starts. Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Mitch Trubisky.
No, my God.
Wow.
Yes, Mitch is one of the 3.
My man is chasing people down to make tackles.
Just another interesting one I thought you guys might like. Mitch.
There's a murderer's row of high potential quarterbacks that really did not pan out.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones is cashing in, baby.
I like to see Daniel Jones. I don't have much faith in him personally, but I'd like to see him work. I would like to. I mean, Mike, why don't you go tell everybody about the website, man?
2dumbyinzers.com. Head on over there for all your 2dumbyinzer needs. We have links for everything: YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, 3 main platforms to listen to us. We also, I think we have a link for our Twitch over there. I think I just added. We have merchandise store over there. And Ryan, I won't let anyone forget about what you can find at our merchandise store. Boom, the Bob Nothing tee. Along with all your other
get on it. Bob Nothing Tea is losing value as we speak.
We have a hat, we have a mug, there's stickers, there's even a bunch of 2Dumb Yinzers stuff there. All
as we speak. Mitch Keller warming up. The Brewers playing the Blue Jays. That shirt is losing value. I also have one thing that I do want to say before we continue on.
No, I said hump everything.
Hump day.
Too much.
But we do got one more San Francisco Giant trivia. We're going to finish up our San Francisco Giant trivia today as the Pirates finish up the series with the Giants. And then we have a day off, and then we start a home series against the Cardinals on Friday, which this week also, guys, has the O'Neal Cruz bobblehead. If you guys, anybody out there collects bobbleheads or loves these items, that will be available this week. Pittsburgh, I think the 3rd, June 3rd.
500, and we're pimping bobbleheads.
That's right.
Buckos are back, baby.
Here we go. Which starting pitcher had a 0.29 ERA in the 2014 World Series? I'm looking for a starting pitcher. I'm gonna give you choices, so don't let your eyeballs roll out of your head just yet, Mike. Which starting pitcher had a 0.29 ERA in the 2014 World Series? Let's get some choices. Was it A, Jake Peavy? Was it B, Madison Bumgarner? Was it C, Tim Lincecum?
It was Tim.
Or was it D, Jeremy Affeldt?
I kind of heard who Derpy was going to say. So you can go ahead first, Derpy.
Yeah, Derpy always shouts it out. Hold on, let me do it one more time. Which starting pitcher had a 0.29 ERA in the 2014 World Series? Was it A, Jake Peavy, B, Madison Bumgarner, C, Tim Lincecum, or D, Jeffrey Affeldt? Go ahead, Derpy. Take a shot, my man.
I think it's Tim Lincecum.
Tim Lincecum. Good guess. Go ahead. And
because that's when he was irrelevant.
let me see.
Around that time.
Is that your final answer, Derpy? Tim Lincecum?
Yeah.
All right. Lock Derpy in. All right, Michael. Which starting pitcher had a 0.29 ERA in the 2014 World Series? Was it Jake Peavy, Madison Bumgarner, Tim Lincecum, or Jeremy Affeldt?
My first guess before you even started saying names was Baumgartner, so I'm going to go with him. I have no idea. I'm just going with I'm just going with him. Yeah, that was the first name that popped into my mind.
Is that your final answer?
Final countdown.
All right, here we go, guys. Last San Francisco Giants trivia question of the week. Which starting pitcher had a 0.29 ERA in the 2014 World Series? Jake Peavy, Madison Bumgarner, Tim Lincecum, and Jeremy Affeldt. The answer is Madison Bumgarner.
Wow.
B. Mike, you nailed that. And the reason I knew this, and I did know this, is because that was the year that we went to the wild card game and lost to the Giants, and Madison Bumgarner just wiped us. I think we scored maybe 0 or 1 runs in that game. He went on and dominated. I mean, and I'm not talking about dominated. I mean, numbers like you just don't see the rest of the way through the playoffs. And again, as you could tell, he had a 0.29 in the World Series. I think he pitched 2 or 3 games in that World Series. So
that's impressive.
It really is. That was his year of you weren't wrong in a sense, Derpy. Tim Lincecum was very relevant at that point, but at this particular time, Madison Bumgarner was just annihilating people. Yes, do check out the website, everybody. www.2dumyinzers.com. Lots of cool things over there. Go check it out. As Mike said, we are on 7 days a week on our summer schedule, 11:30 a.m. every day. And the show that we do that day gets uploaded over on Spotify in podcast form at 8 o'clock in the evening the same day. Mike, do you got anything you want to say before we take off, man?
If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, binge the whole series.
He's dead, I'm telling you. Derpy, anything before we take off?
Hater.
Kyle Dubas to the Penguins.
Kyle Dubas. Is that final? Is that legit?
No, I'm just saying.
It's looking good.
It's looking good. There's rumors. There's sources say.
Also go support the Bucks this Friday with that 9-game stand.
And like I said, we could be back in first place this time tomorrow, guys. We could be the first place Bucks. So don't get over your Bucko fever just yet. Thank you, everybody on the board that commented today with their questions. We appreciate you and appreciate everyone watching and paying attention to our show. So for Mike, Derpy, Ryan, the 2 Dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great hump day.